Hey you guys, it's Reese / Craig here, and I'm back with another life update. This is one I've been meaning to share with you guys for a while. I honestly wasn't planning on making any content or being on social media for all of 2025. And here is why. So if you're interested in like a fountain pen video or an antique video or anything like that, go watch a different video. This is purely a very important life personal update, and I've been struggling with trying to say this on the internet just because this is such a volatile place. I know I have my supporters on here, I know I have you guys on here, but also the internet is a crazy, cruel place. I'm a very insecure person, I always have been, and this is a big thing. And so this video is going to be what's really going on with me and who is Reese? Because I've been going by Reese at work since February, and I've actually been going by Reese with my partner and close friends for about 5 years. And it's going to be like two very important aspects of me, I guess. There really isn't anything planned with fountain pens in this video, but I might talk a little bit about fountain pens or little clues from videos past about something about me that's very important to me. So, all right, let's get right into it. What's going on? Why have I been so vague in the videos? As you know, I am engaged, I have a partner, and I actually in January came out as trans. So I am transgender. This is the second time I've tried doing this. I tried doing this about 9 years ago and it failed miserably. I went to counseling, went to therapy. These are feelings I've had my entire life. So this isn't like, oh wow, this is a new thing, or oh, this is social media made you do this. It is literally something I've wanted since I was a little kid. My first ever memory of really wanting to be female, at least, was when I was 5 or 6 and I was in preschool. There was a kid in my class named Evan. I don't think Evan is ever going to watch this video, but there was this kid that I grew up with named Evan. And when I was 5 or 6, I remember I liked him, and I walked over to him in like recess or something, and I kissed him on the cheek. And he was like, "No, Craig, I don't like you like that," and like pushed me away. And I went home and I was really upset. And I still, when I get upset about things, I dwell on it for a while. And I remember I came home and I was really sad. And my parents were like, "Hey, what's wrong? Like, why are you feeling down?" And I was like, "Well, I really like Evan, and I kissed him, and then he pushed me away." And I remember my dad said something along the lines of like, "It's okay, Craig. Girls can kiss boys, but boys don't kiss boys." And I was like, "Oh, okay, then I want to be a girl." And he like flipped out. But that was like the first little instance of like me actually wanting, like, I wish I was a girl and then I could kiss the boy that I liked, that's kind of that first like instance in my life. And then over the course of my life, just little things here and there, all the way up to me going into therapy and counseling. And I was in counseling for years. And then I was recommended by a coworker of another gender specialist. And this was 2016, 2017. And after several appointments with them, they had agreed, and I had mutually agreed that transitioning would have been my best option. So I started going through it. I shaved my beard off and I started hormones, and at the same time, my grandparents got sick, and I was like, I can't do this right now. My family wasn't taking very, well to it. I remember my dad just said, like, "You're going to be an ugly woman." And I was like, maybe he's right. What's the point of even trying if, I'm just miserable? And so I stopped doing it. I stopped talking about it. I hid that away, stopped taking the hormones, whatever, just move on. And just went right back to being Craig. And through all of that, I started collecting more things. And a friend had introduced me to fountain pens again. Like I had a few of them in 2016, but not like this, not like what I've accumulated. And, in recent times at the California Pen Show, I had a little booth and I sold a bunch of stuff. I have a lot of pens still, but it's like the right amount for what I need at this time. But a friend introduced me to fountain pens. I'm not diagnosed ADHD, but I'm fairly certain I have ADHD, especially with how distracted I get. I literally have like boxes of things around that are just full of stuff that I'm like, I'm going to organize this. And then it's just not been organized. I have a lot of ADHD traits, but I haven't been diagnosed. I'm not on any sort of prescriptions for that. I'm not on any sort of medication other than I am on hormones, and I have been since February. So I used the fountain pen collecting as a way to cope with my depression, I guess. I've been talking to a therapist for years, and they kept saying like, anytime's a great time for you to come out. Anytime's a great time for you to come out. Anytime's a great time for you to come out. And then with, I don't want to get into politics and all of that because that's a lot. But with the current administration, I had decided that if I don't do this now, I'll probably never get to do it. So in the first week of February, I shaved off my beard and broke the news to my mom and my sister and some cousins and that sort of thing. I kind of came out on Facebook just to get it out there. And here I am. I'm now Reese Rockinova at work, and everyone at work has been super supportive. It's been easier coming out as trans than it was coming out as gay, just with my upbringing. I was raised in a very conservative family, and it's a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge. And my main things right now is, so I'm not doing any surgery. I have makeup. I don't know how to use any of it. I've used makeup like twice in the last 6 months. But really, I'm just like, I'm okay if you call me Craig. I'm okay if you call me Reese. I'm okay if you call me he. I'm okay if you call me she, if you call me they, if you call me it, if you call me whatever. I don't care. I'm doing this for me. I have this body dysmorphia where I've never been happy with how I look. And every day, I thought shaving off the beard was going to be oh man, I'm going to hate my face. And honestly, the beard was just a big cover up. The beard was my little security blanket. And now I really like the way I look. I think every day I'm wow, okay, happy with how I look. I've definitely changed. I'll pop up a photo here of what I looked like a year ago. This was right after I quit drinking. And then here's me 2 months ago. And you can see oh wow, yeah, big change, big difference. My fiance has been very supportive. He's known since the day I met him. It's kind of, I had a few relationships in the past where I started dating guys. I was like, hey, listen, this is how I feel. This is what I hope to maybe do someday. And I've had a couple of relationships that were well, I'm into a guy. I don't want to date someone who's going to turn into a woman. And that happened a couple of times over the years. And telling Steve, hey, listen, I'm closeted trans and someday I might want to do this. His only concern for me was do you want to be a bearded lady? And I was like, oh no, I'll shave off the beard. And he was like, oh, okay. But it took 4.5 years of us being together before I was okay, shaving the beard off. And he goes, oh, I really like it. I'm all right, great. So right now, I'm I haven't socially transitioned. I have a lot of friends that transitioned, and they socially transitioned wearing dresses and wearing skirts in public. I haven't done any of that. I'm wearing graphic t-shirts, and I still wear the suit, the 3-piece suit to work every day, and I don't really plan on anything soon. I'm kind of I'm going more into a tomboy sort of mode. That's where I'm comfortable right now. So right now, that's where I'm kind of at. Every day at work, I still have people come up to me and Reese, what's that name tag? Reese. And it's I've been wearing it since February. But I appreciate everyone I work with for making everything so chill. And I appreciate all you guys for being patient with me through all of this stuff. I'm still planning on making fountain pen videos, and I have some really cool watches. In fact, I've picked up, I have this little Verge Fusée watch. This is from 1771 I want to talk about. So I have a lot of cool things that I can talk about on the channel still, and I'm still going to be making videos. But I really was just afraid of okay, I'm going from being this bearded man to being this, I don't know, I still look like a dude. So not too much has changed, except for the fact that lots has changed. I am so much happier, truly so much happier every day. I was kind of afraid that in doing hormones that my brain was going to change in such a way and I was going to be extremely emotional or something. And that hasn't happened. If anything, I'm just a little bit more organized than I used to be. And I have a lot less of a temper than I used to have. I used to get kind of fly off the rails a little bit, a lot less angry, I guess. I don't know. That's really the thick and the thin of it. So I hope that kind of explains what's been going on, that I've been self-conscious to say anything about it. A lot of family, if you're seeing this for the first time, sorry I didn't tell you, but it's been a lot. And, I'm trying to really ease into things because I'm learning just as they're learning. You know, I don't want anyone to be like, oh, I dead named you. Like, no, it's okay. Like, I am not changing Craig anytime soon. Craig is my legal name, and right now I don't plan on going through courts or anything like that to change my name to Reese. But Reese is like my preferred name. But if you say Craig, I'm not gonna be like, oh, how dare you? Like, if you say Craig, I'm gonna be like, hey, yeah, what's up? Like, that's how I am with my family. That's how I am with my sister and my nieces and stuff like that. Like, I don't mind. Call me Craig. That is the name I've had for 37 years, and that's the name I'm going to have for a lot more. So Reese is my preferred name. Cool. It's like a nice in-between name, male or female. I usually just tell people like Reese, like the Witherspoon or the peanut butter cup, you know? But now I'm going to get into why that name. In years past, when I was going through counseling before, I was looking at names like Natalie. I still like the name Natalie, but it's too feminine for me. I wanted a more middle name. I liked the name Ray because it's Craig without the C and the G. Thought about that for a while, but then I had a lot of people going, Rye, hey. Where did the name Reese come from? Well, another thing I want to talk about on here, and it's very important to me, is I am a furry. And I've been a furry since 2002, since I was 14 years old. My first week of high school, made a friend in science class, and he was like, hey, do you like Star Fox? Yeah. Do you like Disney's Robin Hood? Yeah. Do you know what furries are? No. And he's like, hey, let's hang out at lunch. And he started showing me all like art and fandom and whatever else. And after a couple weeks, I was like, okay, I actually really like this. I don't really know too much about it, but we're going to create our own characters and have our own personas and fursonas or whatever. And I got really into it. You can see I'm wearing a shirt. This isn't necessarily a furry shirt. This is a YouTuber or Instagram guy, influencer. In his brand, he makes signs, but he like anthropomorphized his dog. And hey, that's enough for me to buy it. This is my wristband I'm wearing right now. It's from a brand called Nomad Complex. I have a lot of their t-shirts, and this is the sticker that's on the back of my car. It's been on there for like 5 years. I have a little bag here on my desk. There's foxes all over it. I have been a furry for 23 years. I used to have a fursuit. I still go to cons all the time. My buddy Tim was asking me if I was going to the San Francisco Pen Show this year, and I said, hey, no, sorry, no plans right now. But meanwhile, a month later, I am actually going to AFC, which is another furry convention. So I'm going to that right before I leave to go to Walt Disney World. I don't know why I've been hiding it. I like tell everyone at work. This is my water bottle for work. So I have my little Haunted Mansion sticker. This is from a regular that goes all the time, and he makes custom stickers. And that's the Haunted Mansion sticker I have on there. I have another Nomad Complex sticker that is Steve, my fiance's character. Tom, he's a T-Rex. Going coffee. This is from an artist who worked for Nickelodeon. This is from another brand called Camp Howell. Whatever doesn't kill me, had better run. And then this is Reese. I made custom stickers of my character Reese. And that is why I have the name Reese. So Reese was the 5th persona I created, and she is a Doberman based off of a peanut butter cup. That's why she is chocolate and peanut butter and orange like the candy wrapper. But that is my character. Yeah. Last 5 years. My friend Rob, who introduced me to fountain pens, like reintroduced me to fountain pens, he's a furry. The guy who introduced me into mechanical wristwatches, they were furries. Everything I've ever really collected over the last like 15, 20 years was probably inspired by a furry friend. So I have been in the furry fandom for a very, very, very long time. I'm going to continue to be in the furry fandom for a very, very, very long time. And I'm just tired of beating around the bush and not talking about it because there's nothing wrong with that. Even my sister, love my sister to death. She has been buying me Fox gifts for the last like 10 years. She went to Legoland with the family and got me this little like custom Craig as a fox Lego guy mini figure, right? Is that what they're called? I don't really know Legos very well, so I'm not a Lego person. But she got me this little minifig. It sits on my desk all the time. This was my Christmas gift, this fox print. So like my mom has been buying me fox socks for like forever. This is my first badge that I ever got. My character used to be Striker, and it was a husky and then a fox, and then it became Reese. But here are my little badges. I even have a little ghost hunting one. I think this was from like 2014. But my friend Dan made this one for me. A little guy ghost hunting. It's important to me. My fiance Steve, even my phonograph. I wouldn't have ever gotten my phonograph had Steve and I not gone to a furry convention, and then on the way back we've been like, let's stop in Solvang. And then I saw the phonograph and then fell in love with phonographs. So like everything I have came from me knowing a furry or talking to a furry. I'm just trying to kill off some of the stigma of being a furry. I literally tell everyone at work knows. Like that water bottle I take with me to work, that is my work water bottle. It's a big part of me. It's never going away. That is the thing that I've been into the longest of all of my hobbies. And I just remember the last time I was hanging out with my sister and her friends at Disneyland. I had mentioned that when I was a kid, I was afraid of the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, all of the Disney characters, terrified of them. You know, I was afraid of all these characters, and now I am one of them. Like, I'm a furry. And my sister kind of looked at me like, why are you telling people that you're a furry? Why are you telling them? I'm like, what? There's people that cosplay and go to Comic-Con. Comic-Con just happened. People go and do that stuff. Like, it's the same thing. It's just a fandom. It's not like I am weird, but like, you know, whatever. Like, everyone has their own thing. You know, there's people that go crazy for Legos and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on Legos. To each their own. I'm doing that with buying comic books and furry art and supporting like actual artists and stuff like that. I follow a bunch of Patreon accounts. Like, it's, you know, to each their own. As long as you're not hurting anyone, what does it matter? Steve and I met in a online furry art live stream. Artist was making art, talking in the chat off to the side, and he popped up. We started chit-chatting, we started talking. On this channel, I've been talking about how whenever I've done a giveaway, like I don't have WhatsApp, I don't have Telegram. I do have a Telegram, but it's a furry Telegram, so I'm on there as Reese. So I do have a Telegram, but I don't have a Craig Rockanova one. But I was on there, started talking to Steve, he became a pen pal, and then after I got out of a not great relationship, things became a little bit more serious, and then we became a couple, and we are still long distance. He's in Florida, and I only get to see him, you know, once or twice a year while he's out there helping his dad out, and I'm here in California, but it's able to work for us. You know why? Because we're furries. If this was a long distance relationship for 5 years, and, you know, I'm engaged for 5 years, for anyone else, it probably wouldn't work out. But because like this is just how my life has been for 23 years. It's actually really easy. We get along really well. And yeah, I can't wait to see him in 2 months. I know that it's not going to be forever that we're going to be long distance. So now if you go back and watch any of my old videos and do like any investigative journalism on me being a furry, if you go back and see like when I talk about the goodest pen, Nikaya with the little dog on it, I bought this literally because there's a dog on it. And I'm a dog. The Namiki Chinkin Dragon. Honestly, I bought this because of the dragon. It's a great pen, beautiful pen. And my fiance is a writer. He writes furry stories. He has a character who is a Eastern dragon. This is technically his pen. I promised him when we get married someday that this is going to be his pen. It's his pen before we even get married. But there you go. Crazy, crazy pen. And I bought it because of the dragon. This is me nerding out. But 23 years, you just can't escape. My parents were like, you're going to grow out of this. You'll grow out of this. You're not going to be into this forever. No, you're wrong. I'm very passionate about it, and I'm very, you know, thankful for all my friends and all the support and all of you guys. I'm actually pretty certain that maybe not half, but a lot of my subscribers on this channel are furries because I talk to them all the time. One of them, he goes by Fern on Patreon. He's made art for me. He was also one of my giveaway winners. I'm not going to stop collecting antiques. I'm not going to stop being myself. I'm not going to stop being Reese or Craig or whatever the hell you want to call me. I don't care. This is just who I am. Again, thank you for the support, you guys. Can't say thank you enough. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I just had to get it off my chest. There you go. That's what's happening with me. I will be at the California Pen Show for certain next year. And as far as furry conventions go, I'm going to Anthrocon, which is one of the biggest furry conventions in the world, in Pittsburgh next summer. And I'm very excited about that. I'm going with Steve. We're probably going to fly up there and meet up with each other. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, just working 40 hours a week, the happiest place on earth, which I do not represent in this video. Life is really good. I have not even looked at pens or pencils in a while. So other than, like I am actually writing with this. It's like my one Nikaya left. That's my big, important life update. Thanks for bearing with me, and hope to see you guys all very soon. All right. Peace.